Good morning and welcome back. Thank you for joining me. What I'm going to do now is demonstrate some simple, basic routines, techniques that you could practice if you choose to, which will enable you to become more flexible. Now I'm sure we'll all agree that the older we become, the more inflexible we become. And just like anything in life, if you don't use it, you will lose it, whether it's the heart, the brain, or the muscles, or anything else for that matter. So what I've found, which has been of service to me, is that when I wake up in the morning, as well as putting the kettle on and doing my powder tea and making my wife a drink as well, she usually has peppermint, although she's got wild fennel this morning. What I usually do then is do my stretches, and the reason for that is because I'm probably at my warmest. Now you can do this after a hot bath, or a shower, or after you've come in from a workout or something like that. I will leave that with you. What I found really useful is to perform this when you are at your most warmest, but also fix a time. It's your time. It's what Dr. Stephen Covey would call part of the 7 habits. Sharpen your saw, and this is something that I do to put better flexibility in my body. So I'm going to demonstrate on the basic ones. Now breathing obviously is key, and believe it or not, a few years ago I couldn't even touch my toes, but I'll demonstrate that in a moment. One of the things I like to do is obviously stretch the inner thighs. These are known as the adductors. Breathe in. Breathe out. Notice also that what I'm doing is rotating my head to either side, left and right, as far around as I can. Breathing in and then breathing out, and also back, and if you need to also down. At the same time I'm lengthening my adductors, my inner thighs. The other thing I like to do then is to pivot at my hips. I put my hands on the floor and reach forward. At the same time when I do this, I may find that my feet go further out. And I like to come up to this position. Now pain equals no gain, so the idea is if you feel pain, don't do it. I do feel quite a bit of a stretch there. My wife's smiling at me. I do find it rather challenging. Not my wife smiling at me, but doing this. At the same time I also may turn my head as far around as I can. Again, breathing fully and deeply, one way and then the other. And then slowly I come up, and sometimes when I walk around it's like I've been on John Wayne's horse for a while. Right, the other thing that I like to do, then I'll do this position, probably different positions where you can see. Again, I'm just relaxed feet. Well, pivot point is here, maintain neutral posture. And all I'm going to do, you can either have your feet together, I prefer mine slightly apart but parallel, is just to reach down. Now I'm going out of neutral posture. As I said, a few years ago I couldn't even touch my toes. Now there are different positions you may take on this just to feel that stretch on the hamstrings and maintaining spinal integrity if you choose to. But in this case, as I said, I like to bend at the spine. You can follow down your legs if you so choose, toes, and then onto the floor. Okay. The other thing I like to do in this position here, again, is just to reach back, slight bend of the knees, as far as I feel comfortable. Again, I'll demonstrate in a different position so you can see. The other thing I'll do is my wife taught me this actually, which I don't know the name. It's a yoga routine. I don't know what it's called. What I'm going to do. Oh, there's downward dog, and laughing baby comes in there too probably. in this position, arms are straight, and what I'm trying to do is have my foot flat on the floor, stretch my Achilles tendon out, legs straight and up. Again, breathing fully and deeply. I feel a stretch on the calf muscles, on the hamstrings, and I also feel quite a stretch in my shoulder joint because I have been quite restricted with having trained my shoulders or blitzing them so many years ago. And then switch to the other side. What you may find is you maintain this for about three or five breaths. And then once again in downward dog position. And then one of my favourite moves, breathe in. As I breathe out, reach up, arching back, and I always find that my spine, I hear it click, and everything moves back into place. Or maybe it moves out of place, but it feels good. So breathing is vital. What were you going to say, my love?
That was breathe in.
That was breathing.
Breathe in on your way up.
Oh, breathe in on my way up. I've just had a little correction made there. I prefer to breathe out though. But from a yogic point of view, then you've got to breathe in, not out. And then from this position here, I prefer to have my legs slightly apart. And I like to do this stretch. And then put it back into this position here. Coming up. And reaching out. Now those are just some basic techniques that I've done. My wife's the yoga instructor, not me, so please don't quote me on the technical side of it. But what I hope you'll get from this recording is how to improve your flexibility on the shoulder joints, hamstrings, calves, Achilles tendon, spine, everything basically is moving, and also at the neck, cervical, rotating around as far as you can. And what I have found, and I know this is because of the pair of glasses that I wear, is a lot of people walking around that may well be in their 50s, 60s, 70s with a stick, limited range of motion, and one of the main reasons why, as well as I'm putting in the wrong fuel, will be because they feel, well, I've got to retire, I've got to relax, and I don't need to do any more exercise, and I'm too old for that, and all those things will limit them in their flexibility. So there's no reason at any age for you not to be flexible. And as I said before, generally as we become older, we become less flexible in more ways than one. So my invite to you is to practice, fix a time or a certain day, and a routine once you are at your warmest. I do mine when I climb out of bed in the morning, and have fun. And if you want, I like the masculine part, is the challenge, that I try and challenge myself to go as far down as I can. And I will eventually be able to do the splits. I'm still working on it. I've been doing this now probably for a few years on and off, but I'm doing it now every single day unless I go out for a little training routine. So have fun. I love you all. Bye for now.